evening. I want to take just a few minutes of your time and talk about some of the events that have happened in college sports, particularly football in this instance. Here we have Jerry Sandusky, and he's currently serving 30 to 60 in prison. And on the other two, you have Sherrone Moore and Mel Tucker. Mel Tucker is from Michigan State. Sherrone Moore is from Michigan. Now, what all three of these guys have in common is not the crime. I'm not saying that the crimes are all the same or equal in any sense of the imagination. But what I am saying is that their code of conduct, the college code of conducts, were all violated. And in those violations, they end up losing their jobs. They end up losing their livelihood. Their families are disrupted. Need I say the families that surrounded them, such as the football players and the people directly affected by these violations. What I want to tell you about is just a couple of things that I wrote down, and I think that can be applied to offset some of these things that are happening in college sports. One is definitely emphasis being put on the code of conduct. Now, code of conduct, they're far-reaching. You have a code of conduct for your coaches, you're going to have them for the students as well. Let me rephrase that. They do have them for the students. And I'll go further. Now, the students are making money now. Now, the students are making money for their name, image, and their likeness, the NIL. And I don't believe there's a cap on it, on the amount of money that these college kids are making. So they're making millions of dollars. In some cases, they're making more than the pros are making, or they may make at the pros. So they're going to have, at some point, some issues as well. And what I'm saying in a nutshell, we don't want anything to happen to these kids that are happening to the coaches, who are essentially their overseers. They're supposed to guide them in the right direction. They're supposed to show them that, look, we're here for sports. You're here to make some money in the future. You want to go to the NFL or baseball or basketball or whatever. But they're there for guidance. But when they're making all the mistakes, it's hard for them to contain the students. And mark my word, these college students are making millions now on their likeness. And they're not even in their peak. And they are going to be chased from pillar to post, and they're going to have some controversy on them as well. Mark my word. What they need is a different line of security. And I believe they need security at least available to them 24/7. The stakes are too high for these young kids to be out there, and there's no guidance, and especially when, dare I say, there have been coaches that are in a tempted or awkward situations themselves. Not all coaches, but it has happened, as you can see. The security will be able to advise on a higher level 24/7, and they would only answer to the athletic director. And it's not to say they would go around the coaches. They would keep an eye on the coaches as well, and they would report to the athletic director, who then would report to the president or whoever they report to. This needs to be done, because if not, more controversy is going to happen. More code of conduct violations are going to happen. And you're going to see people getting ruined. Not at the age of 40, not at the age of 30. And I'm talking about the coaches and their ages, but I'm talking to 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, college kids who have their life in front of them, who are making millions of dollars and will be ruined if they don't have somebody who can simply guide them and tell them no. That's not to say that somebody should be on their heels, but they should have someone to observe them at certain points in their college careers, and someone to be able to tell them this is not the way to go. They also need to have someone to sit them down as college students and give them periodic classes on the do's and the don'ts, and to remind them what they're there for. Also to remind them what could happen if things go south. And so you have the coaches who need to be coached or need to be directed, and you have the college students that need to be coached. And it's a matter, it's a big business, and we all know there's never been a time where college students haven't involved themselves into something that they should not have. Let me put it like that. Same with the coaches. It's a part of sports, but you have to get a hold on it, because when it happens, everyone is like, oh, it's so surprised and it shouldn't happen. This is something that's been going on for a very long time. As long as there have been college sports, as long as there have been sports and groupies, they win games, there's certain rewards that come with it. So I believe these things, if put in place, could offset some of the things that we're hearing in the news. So, not going to take up too much more of your time, but remember, if you like this video, comment. If you don't like it, comment. I want to know your thoughts on what I said. I do firmly believe that they need a different form of training and or security for these colleges, the coaches, and for the student athletes, and who these people should answer to, the athletic director. And so give me your thoughts. You know, I think that there's a lot of things out here that can be brought to the table. If you comment, I'll comment back as soon as I can. I appreciate you taking the time to view my video, and if you would share it, subscribe, and we'll talk. I'll do more content on this. Maybe not on this. Hopefully things like this will kind of tinker off, but being real, this has been a part of us college sports and sports in general for years. As long as they have been sports, this sort of thing has been happening, and it's going to continue to happen. But you have to get a hold on it, because the legalities of these things are tremendous, and you don't want to get your child or your school involved in these things. Thank you. Take care.